Yeah, you're probably gonna have a load of scooters like coming around just like.
Man, you always have like literally the fucking soundtrack of Tokyo Drift in the background, like
Yeah.
like Need for Speed, like Most Wanted.
Mm.
Oh, Need for Speed Undercover, what a tune of a game.
Oh my god, man!
The Lotus Elise was actually the most goated car in the game. Like.
Yeah, was it like the first? Like, yeah, you started off with like a Maya car, and then the first one you unlocked was just like Lotus Elise. You were just like,
fucking Univa, big green yoke.
Or do you remember the helicopters used to drop like barrel bombs on?
Basically, it just became an arcade game from like a
Police
racing.
brutality.
Like you have the whole fucking police force after you, just hide in the bridge for 5 minutes, and like, oh fuck, boy, we lost them, leave them off.
Oh god, yeah.
Imagine that's what happened in real life. It's like you just hide under a bridge.
Guards have been left stumped after they lost the perpetrator for 5 minutes.
Yeah, man, and then you can see the fucking helicopter chase camera, just like. You could see the bridge that you're under, just a bit of the fucking bumper sticking out, like it's like, where is he?
The guardie spotted the criminal. Unfortunately, his wanted bar had run out.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those wanted bars. But anyway, welcome back to the 7th episode of the Only Messin podcast. We've been recently publishing every 2 weeks because sometimes we're just busy and sometimes we just don't feel like it, and we kind of do this for fun. So I'm sorry if you're like basically starving to get a podcast on a weekly basis, but that's
waiting for like a drip.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen. That likely. Ollie's not on today because he's probably studying or some stuff like that. But
yeah.
Anyway,
don't bother with that.
Yeah. Nah, he's dead to us. Like he's no longer. Like you can see. I don't know if we had our names on the cover of the podcast, his one would be like scribbled out with like a big pen, like a blue big pen on a glossy photo. Do you ever have this? Right, I used to have this when I was younger, back in Poland when I was 7. Right, I had this like class picture. It was printed out and I had it in my room. And my best friend and I was in the same class as I was in. We used to look at the people on the photo. And we used to put X's on the people that we didn't like.
Jesus Christ.
Some psychopath shit.
Just like your mother coming in, it's just like, just like, you're just like, you and your friend just like, kill.
Yeah. Bartek, what's with the X's? Tomorrow you find out.
Fucking hell.
Man. Oh, I got there. But anyway, today's topic of
just like,
as always.
Just quick anecdote, like I'm a psycho, like what I mean. That's fucking gas though.
But today's podcast, we had an idea of talking about our previous jobs, especially our jobs in our adolescence, because I don't know, like until I was probably 18, I probably had like for my first job. I had like little side jobs before. Like, I always got pocket money from my parents. I got 20 quid a week, right? And with that 20 quid, I was like, oh I usually spent it on mostly getting Chinese food or Subway.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe sometimes getting a record. Or like, there's a shop in Waterford, it's called Rainbow Records. And Connor, oh, okay, I just name dropped Connor, but I don't think you'll mind. I'll text him about this. But yeah, basically, we used to go in every weekend on Saturdays to Rainbow Records, and we used to just basically do, what is it called? Record? What's the word? Crate? It's like crate digging.
Just flipping.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not up to scratch with record lingo. Bartek, fill me in there.
Yeah, man, we were looking for original first press UK press of ACDC albums.
Oh, look at this one, folks! First press Mexican edition, Frank Sinatra's "My Way," a real gem. This one.
I have no idea what that, like, I'm not up to fucking speed with like records at all. Like,
my most recordy sounding record would be my first press never played Lithuanian Kate Bush the whole story, and literally the description under it was like a fantastic record procured by one of the greatest to ever do, and I was like. I stopped reading halfway through and I was like, oh, it's 50 quid, I'd throw it in and buy it. Like, but this fella literally wrote out like a thesis on why I should buy it. I was like, all right, boys, get it, because relax, relax, I'm buying it, right? I'm buying it, relax.
Yeah, fucking introduction, theory, conclusion, results. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, Jesus Christ.
King in English in secondary school, fucking point, quote, explain.
Yeah, but we used to go crate digging every weekend, and maybe we pick up a single, but like the stock wouldn't change that much, so we'd know in each column or kind of each row what kind of singles or records there would be. So once in a while there was like this. It's basically fucking gambling for children, because we're just looking for like records that like wouldn't have been there before. And once every 3 weeks, then you might get like a George Michael single or something like that.
Man, he has some of his shit in that shop. Like, he used to have, he still does, I'm sure, once he opens up again. But like, literally, like €3 for like 20 full records, like fucking albums. I was like, what garbage are you trying to sell me if you're giving me 20 records for €3? Like, it's like what, less than like 10-cent records?
Christ. Yeah, I wonder how many record shops are like that. Like, just like all across the place, like, fucking hell, we bought way too much. We need to get rid of this. Like, you know what I mean? Just fucking like.
Yeah, Jesus. Man. It's just that definitely people just trying to like sell those Saint John Paul II visits Ireland 1972 record albums. Like, you know, it's like we got 60 of these. People have been dropping on their religion, like, you know.
Jesus Christ.
Trying to set it up like
Catholic Church kind of poisoned that well. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, Jesus Christ.
But I used to spend my money on that. It's food, and I think I might save like a £5 a week. And maybe like with that £5 in the long run, that would add up to 50. I might buy a video game or something like that, you know?
Yeah, but what made you like go for your first job anyway? Like, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I used to like. Okay, so I also like gained some money from my parents for like doing shit around the house. So I used to like I used to get paid for like painting basically the external of the house and painting. Now, lads, are you laughing?
A Polish person painting.
Sorry, it's just such a
when pigs fly, boy. When pigs fly.
No, but since my parents were just too tired of painting all week, it was my turn on the weekend, so I decided to do them a favor, paint the gaff, you know. But I was paid for these things, and also cutting the grass. Like very minimal money, like not minimal. I used to get like £5 for cutting the grass front and back. And then I used to get like tenner for washing my mum's car in and out. And I used to get, my dad always would go up to me if I painted like the wooden garden fences that you'd have that kind of washed over with this like very liquidy red kind of rusty paint.
Yeah.
Once I finished the job, this was the worst bit because like those fences were kind of hard to paint because they had a lot of like nooks and crannies and stuff. But my dad at the end of that would go up to me and like he'd have the classic dad holds out two hands, both fists are closed, and he says, "You choose." And I'm like, the left one. And then he opens it up and there could be a note. And sometimes he'd open it up and there'd be like a bunch of coins. And he'd give the coins to me and he was like, I'm fucking with you, take this as well. And he'd give me the note, like, you know. So that's how I earned my money at the start. But then I found this job as being I found this job working on a farm somewhere close to Waterford. I was the handyman kind of person, literally the Polish handyman, just doing bits around the farm. So if they need like a wall plastered up, I'd plaster up the wall. If they needed like some vintage furniture that they had in these barns refurbished, I would do that. And Did I know what I was doing? I had no fucking clue. Like, to be honest with you, like I had some understanding, but most of the times he was like the person I was working for, he was like, all right, here's a bunch of tools, and this is where the paint is and stuff like that. Today you're doing these two things. And I was like, all right, I'll do that. And yeah, spent like 4 weeks doing stuff there, basically earning money for moving over to the Netherlands. I bought a bike with that money, and a few other things. But yeah, it was actually good crack. I became friends with a horse when I had to paint. When I had to paint the whole kind of like, what is it? The horse keep, or like the fence that's around the horse field. I had to paint it with this fucking, I don't know what the name of the paint. It's not paint. It's like grease mixed in with this preservative. I used to literally smell like fuel coming back from my house. And to like come back to my house.
Petrol station like manager, just like coming back, just fucking like.
No, but like literally petrol mixed in with something else, and that was the kind of lacquer that I would put on these like timber kind of fence things. But it was good crack. Like I remember each time at 1 o'clock there's always be lunch, and we'd sit in this area, like this indoor lunch area, and they had one of these old school box TVs in there, and they used to watch it. Always 1 o'clock they'd be watching the news, and then right afterwards they'd watch what's that fucking soap kind of show that's like in Australia?
Home and Away.
Oh, Home and Away.
Home and Away, man. I used to get addicted to that shit, man. I was kept on track every single day, man. Next episode, like, you know, I was actually I became quite invested after 4 weeks, like, you know.
Yeah,
and,
like it just like gets all the emotional hooks on you, like, oh fuck, like, you know what I mean? Just like,
sorry, go on. Sorry.
No, it's just like setting up cliffhangers for the entire fucking episode, so you just want to watch the next one. Like, you know what I mean? Just nothing is resolved. Like, you know what I mean?
What it sounds like, Bartek, is that like usually when people get their first job, they're like, "Oh no, I'm ready after growing up. Like, I'm ready after maturing." It sounds like you turned into a 40-year-old man at this job, but fuck, boy, I have to watch the soaps now. See what fucking Dr. Cliff is up to now. See what the boy, see that last episode of Home and Away, me fucking nerves.
Jeez, I need to sit down and watch Home and Away. Me backs and bits.
I had a fight with the wife the other night. I'm watching Home and Away. She said, "You're not. That what's that shit in the hospital? That Grey's Anatomy. She loves it. It's her love it. And we're watching Grey's Anatomy." He said, "You're my fuck." Anyway, we watched it anyway. It's actually a good watch.
Literally, that sort of shit though going on in that lunchroom. There was this older kind of like farm worker, the oldest farm worker there. He had a very thick accent, like really like thick farmer's accent, and it was quite difficult to understand him. And I was like, first he introduced, his name was Paddy, right? And oh yeah, right. But we shook hands, and I was like, "My name is Bartek, right?" And he was like, "All right, whatever. Best of luck to you, whatever." And I think he never like remembered my name, but he used to call me all the time. He used to be Mr. B. Every single time he'd see me, "Good morning, Mr. B. Oh Jesus," you know. It's fucking great crack, actually. I remember maybe like definitely once a day, there'd always be an alarm where one of the fucking cows would escape, and I'd have to go running after the cows with the farmers. It's actually good crack.
That actually sounds fun, like, to be honest. That's like fairly fun first job.
Like,
yeah. It's fucking Home and Away at lunchtime, like just painting shit out in nature. Like, actually sounds like pretty good, to be honest.
I used to bring in my headphones every single day, so I'd watch. I'd listen to the Dan Carlin podcast.
Oh, don't get me started. Like, I love. Yeah. Just like anyone who's listening, just listen to Dan Carlin stuff. It's so good.
Oh, it's quite
listen to audio versions of Home and Away in case you didn't catch.
Dan Carlin's up there, but Home and Away audio edition. That's fucking
just out in the middle of a field, like fucking turning hay or something. You see a bird, she did fucking what?
Kieran, what was your first job?
What was my first job was working with my dad as like a labor hand. I think I consider my first job the first time I got like a pay slip, which was like in a Greyhound track restaurant, and
Oh,
actually the handiest job ever. Like you go in, some buzz, like food was like actually was serious food for like you pay like a tenner and you got like a 3-course meal, and it was savage money, like or
We
savage
paint
food,
the
like.
we paint a picture of the Greyhound like track, like because like it's not very common. Like I think what is
Oh,
it, like or like, what is it? The one in Waterford's like one of two in Ireland and the UK or something. Is it like it's like
Greyhound. There's. I think there might be only two in Ireland. Two or there could be more. I only know of two. There's
yeah.
Waterford, and then there's the one called Shelburne.
Oh yeah.
Down in Shelbyville. No. um, so it's basically like imagine a football stadium, but there's just it's like a running track, but there's no lines. It's just sand that's been raked with like a tractor that has like a piece attached to the back, and it's like downstairs would be like a pub, kind of, yeah, more of like a pub, and then upstairs would be more, in quotation marks, fucking formal, like it's a dog track with a
Yeah.
restaurant, and it's like fairly vintage, like fucking sticky carpets and like panel wood flooring and like fine, like. But like, yeah, so basically I was like a food runner, not even a waiter. I didn't take the order, so I was just running all the food and stuff. And like the most interesting thing that would happen probably would be, one, a fella would come up to you flicking the credit card going, sorry boy, do you know where the toilet is? Because it's and you're like, yeah, go out the door. Oh, sound pat. Mad that you don't have one upstairs. I was like, yeah, I wonder why. Like, I wonder why.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, that we don't have one upstairs.
And then the second most interesting thing was a woman that worked with us. Now, lads, I feel bad for her. Like, she was working like 2 jobs, but she'd work in a hotel in the morning and then come in here into the dogs at the weekends. And fuck me, that she come in absolutely langers, like actually falling over the place, drunk. And one night we were in there, and it was packed now. It was at Christmas. It used to get out the door at Christmas, like. And she came up to us, me and a girl I worked with, were cleaning cutlery, and she goes, lads, I don't know what's wrong with my shoes. I only bought these yesterday now, and they're fucking giving me bother. And she was hobbling around. You're like, fuck, what's wrong with her? Like, so we smelled her water. So the girl that worked with smelled the water, but I was like, oh, like it's fogged, like it's not water. It's like, oh fuck. And then we looked down at her shoes. She came to work in 2 odd shoes, one with a heel and one without one, and she was fucking falling over everyone, spilling drink, causing a mess. Like she got fired from her first job in the hotel, obviously not the one in the Greyhound track, and then sure COVID hit, so she probably, was collecting the 400 a week, so it worked out well for her. But she was coming to the job absolutely wasted. Like sometimes she couldn't even get her words out, like slurring.
Holy shit, man.
That's fucking yeah. Like what do you do like in that case? Like,
get down on both knees and praise her. What a fucking legend!
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's like it's fucking. Jesus.
Did you also have a manager that would intervene with that sort of shit though?
Well, he didn't really care. He was sound, like he was a sound man. And also, I forgot to mention this, where I'm 99% convinced that our tips were robbed, because if you worked in anything that tips, especially at Christmas, right? Irish people are quite good with a tip, I think. Well, my family anyway, we're good with a tip. I get to the end of the night and I'd be handed like €4, and I'd be like, and I go home to my dad and be like, Dad, he's like, do you get any tips at €4? He's like, there's no way. He's like, I know all the lads that are in there. It's like, there's no way they left €4 for 6 people. Like, what's 4 times 6?
24.
€24 over, and there was about 20 tables, lads. €24. As fucking if, like, we were literally being robbed, like, but we couldn't say anything because there was no proof. Like, you just had to take it as it was, like.
But
so
did you have to go back to the chefs though?
No, you don't give the tips to the chef, because they be in there from, say, I get in there like 7 o'clock, like. I'd be in there till 12, but they could be in there from 3 or 4 in the afternoon, like. So they get those extra 4 or 5 hours of work, like. So they didn't really. They never asked for the tips anyway.
Yeah, we used to split the tips where I worked. Like, fucking,
Oh yes, this is where we're going to. Like, we all can't hear the
No,
stories from where that one. I don't want to put too much pressure on you now, but like,
Don't fuck it up.
yeah, just don't fuck it up.
Chill out, like Only
Okay,
Messin.
guys, story time. Now, fuck up. What you call it?
Where did you work on?
Nah, I was over in Waterford Castle, so it was actually a really good first job, to be honest. Like basically, if I was to describe it, it's like, yeah, it's on an island with a golf course and stuff, and like, you know, they have a hotel and restaurant. Just working as like a kitchen porter in there, and just like first job, I think like I was just turning 17, like that month, so they were like, oh yeah, like you can work. I think. For some reason, I think it was like, oh, you can't work at 16 or something, or something along the lines of that. But I was just like, yeah, just give me a job, like, you know, minimum wage as per. And yeah, but we used to share the tips, and there, like, it was kind of like, I don't know, like, I guess, like, you know, waiters and waitresses deal with what you call it, like more shit off customers, you know what I mean? But like, you know, like everyone's working at the same time, like, you know what I mean? So like
they also deal with shit off the chefs.
Yeah, true, like, you know what I mean? But yeah. But like, you know, it's just like the chefs aren't stressed for no reason at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
oh yeah, I'm only messing. I'm only messing.
Fuck you, man. Chefs I fucking die for. Nah, fucking.
Hijack, and then I give it straight back to him. Like, literally, just to give you, it just remind me of the chef in the dogs. Like, he was sound 90% of the time, like so sound, so nice. But the 10%, when you just caught him on the wrong day, like basically what we would do is we would do the garnishes. So he'd throw up the plate, you garnish, and you go. And one day, lads, oh my god, so fucking there's basically chicken, fish, steak. Steak gets it got like a leaf thing, same to chicken, but fish got like parsley. And one day I put a fucking a leaf thing, like fucking like it's like a hard leaf. It's not like mint or thyme. That's the fucking one. I put it on and I sent it out, and I was chilling. I was like, great, another job well done, boys. So I bring it out and I come back in. I'm just waiting there because you can't sit down on the job. There's no breaks. You just kind of sit there and wait for the next thing to happen. He goes, all right, lads, that was a good run. Now we'll just wait for the next rush. Kieran, if I ever see you put fucking time on that fucking dish again, I'll fucking... I'm like, I'm fucking terrified. But then at like 15 minutes later, I was like, sorry about that, but you know yourself, just a rush. And I was like, oh yeah, no more. Meanwhile, when he did, I was like holding back the tears. I was like, yeah, sorry about that.
just fucking, just like, oh, I'm gonna quit my job, right? Like, you know what I mean? Just fucking, oh
anyway,
man.
Back to you.
No, but yeah,
hilarious.
But yeah, Kieran, the fucking chefs used to like freak out the odd time. I remember whenever there's like a wedding or something, they'd always like, you know, it's like, you know, just like you'd be doing just an insane amount of just like work, and like you know, the pressure, be honest, like, oh yeah, clean that, like, because I used to be like kitchen porter, so like clean the dishes and stuff, but like I used to do shit around the kitchen as well. So like they had a thing where they like kept stock on for like 2 days, and apparently, like, you know, just all like bones and like vegetables and all this just in this giant broth that they leave on for 2 days, like coming up to like a wedding, for like some sauces and stuff. And what you call it, like you have to empty it as a kitchen porter. Like you have to hold, like you have to get all the bones and the carrots and all that stuff out of it. Carrots, what you call it, but and it's like, it's probably worth like 100, 200, maybe more. Like, so you're just like pouring this giant, and the pot's like half the height of me. So I'm just like trying to pour this thing.
While just even like get the leverage on that shit. Like,
where are you pouring it into?
On your knees, and just you have to hold it as if you were like, you know, fucking 3 feet tall trying to pour a pot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Yeah, and like, you know, God forbid you like, you know, spill it, like, because it's just the whole thing is just like ruined then. But oh no, I remember one time actually, it was like we had to me and another kitchen porter, we were just like cleaning all the pots and stuff, and like it was fucking just hectic. All the waiters just like going around, and the like chefs like just like kind of shouting at each other. And next thing, what you call it, I just hear this like hot, hot, hot behind me, right? And like the sink is in front of me, and next thing, what you call it, I just like feel a tap on my back, and next thing, one of the chefs throws this giant like pot of boiling water, right? This chef South African, and he goes like fucking it's like, I say hop behind you, like it's like, I say hop behind you, you fucking and you don't move, you're gonna burn, motherfucker. Like, I was just like, oh, sound, like, you know what I mean? Just like fucking just, oh, this guy was just intense though, like, yeah, it's fucking he's
17, man.
Yeah,
He was 17
I think it just turned 17. It was funny, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
What
you
is
were
it?
like 17
Funny at the time.
Yeah. But it's great. I could see the whole, like, as a kitchen port, you're a bit removed from it. Like, you can kind of see the whole process of, like, you know, waiters coming in just like, oh, there's some prick out there, like, you know what I mean, who are like, you know, said he ordered this, but I know he ordered this thing, like, you know what I mean, and just like all this thing, all these like.
Some
Yeah,
fucking prick outside now. He asked for the Spanish paella. He asked me to take the fucking Spanish out of it. What's that even mean?
We don't fuck around with that Spanish shit. It's bad for me gut now, me doctors.
One time we went to fucking Costa del Sol, got a fucking one of those paella things, fucking getting sick all over the floor, man.
But chefs are definitely just like sound out people, like, you know what I mean, just like when they're not stressed out of their head, they're just like fucking dead on, like
so what are your positive experiences with chef, apart from if you don't move you'll burn, motherfucker?
Nah, like, I think they were just kind of sound, like, and they kind of just like, you know, they kind of knew they could like rely on you to do certain things. Like, I don't know, it's just like, especially being young as well as kind of like working amongst adults, it's like, oh shit, I'm actually like helping this, like I'm actually like contributing to this in a meaningful way. But like I guess some positive experiences. Oh, actually, one wedding they had fireworks. That was pretty nice. Like probably some rich bastard getting fucking married, to be honest. Like, just like, yeah, just flexing with the firework display. But yeah, we just all like went out of the kitchen, just like sat there, just like fucking watching the fireworks, and it's just, yeah, it's just handy, like, you know what I mean, just all laughing. But
That's
yeah,
lovely.
yeah.
What about any like stressful shifts or anything? Like, have you had any shifts that were like just fucking grueling on you?
Yeah. You know this one, but I'll fucking say it anyway. The what you call it, like, because I used to like work, because I was still in school, right? So school started back up in like end of August, start of September, but I was still like, you know, working in the castle, and I was like, yeah, I work the weekends, I work Saturdays and maybe some Fridays. And he was like, oh, you work Fridays? Yeah. And I was like, ah, yeah, go on. Right. So anyway, just like getting slated like 4 Fridays in a row or something, like, you know what I mean? I was just like, oh, I get my mistake now, like, you know. So like I just go in and, like, you know, get up at what, like 7:30 in the morning, go to school, do a full day of school, like finish school at 3:30, then go to work at 4:00, like be in the kitchen at 4.
God.
Yeah. And like it might be like a wedding or something. I'm like, ah, yeah, grand, like, you know, and like maybe like get something to eat or something, you know, just do all like some cleaning that needed to be done that day. And like, you know, and next thing, it started ramping up, the kind of service and the cooking would start ramping up around around like when the like wedding reception happened. And next thing I was like, oh, shit, I didn't eat anything all day. I'm looking, I was like, I didn't eat anything since probably like 1:00, and it's now like 8:00 at night. I'm just like collapsing now, and like I was just like, oh fuck, like here we go. And next thing it was just like, oh oh, and I need that cleaned in the kitchen there now. I'm like, yeah, just scared out of my fucking tree, and like, you know, just completely stressed. Next thing I'm just scrubbing this, and next thing I was like, oh fuck, I'm definitely just need to like chill out. But it was just at the height of service. I could not tap out, like, and the washroom was just full of steam, like, you know what I mean, just like I could barely see the other kitchen porter working with me. It was just like yeah, just fucking, like, it's actually mad when I think about it. But next thing I was like, oh, here, look, to the other kitchen porter. I was like, here, look, I need to take a break. So like, there's a coffee machine, so I walk around the corner, just go to the coffee machine, grab a big like mocha cup, right, and I hit the double espresso machine 3 times, right. And next thing, this thing's just filling up. I'm just like, yeah, I need this. Like, as it's filling up, but like 3 things of sugar in it. Next thing, just like leave it there, fucking let it to cool down for like 5 minutes, and just down this thing. And what I could only describe as like Fry from Futurama moment, where I was just like, just fucking, just like nothing in my stomach, just like I've been awake 12 hours. I probably wasn't going to finish till like 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning or some shit, like, and I was just like, just like fucking, like, just completely wired off this thing, like, you know. But eventually I like crashed like 2 hours later. Like, I got over the hump, like all the like main stuff was there. Probably definitely took like 12 hours off my life with that thing. But
It's worth it.
yeah, worth it, like, you know what I mean.
Worth it for the 680 an hour or whatever it was.
Yeah, 60. Like, I do that, right? I have that whole day, and I'd see my paycheck, and it's like, oh, like €55, like, you know.
Yes.
Like, you know, for 17 money, like for 17-year-old money, I was like, it's actually not bad, like, you know what I mean. Just fucking, you know.
It's mad. It's mad on that for a weekend, right? That we now, you know, as adults make that in a day, but you were willing to drop a six tuple espresso for the grind.
Yeah, just fucking, oh my god.
Can I just ask you a question, right? What in your mind said, oh, double espresso, yeah, I probably need 3 of them, not just the 1.
I was like, you know, 1 isn't enough, clearly. Like, 2 is like, you know, just like, it might be there, but it's like 3 is like, you know what, fuck it, why not? Like, I'm actually that dead, like, you know what I mean? Or I just die, like,
and you say you finished at 1 or 2, like, did you sleep when you got home or what? Like, were you just wired or?
No, I was wired when I got home. Like, I was just like, I'd like, and then my sleep schedule, I'd wake up at like, you know, like 10 the next morning, like, you know what I mean? The next thing I just, like, and then I'd have to do fucking like weekend study and all that shit. When I think about it, like, I'm kind of a lazy fuck now compared to what I used to be, like, you know what I mean?
Same, yeah.
Like, honestly, I think it's probably more the structure of school compared to like college, to be honest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I was doing that now, I'd definitely be like, oh yeah, you could take a day off for that. Like, you know what I mean? Whereas just like, had deadlines back then.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be fucking espresso, it'd be a fucking bag of coke and fucking bag of
yeah, man, just doing speed with the chef, like.
yeah, just like your wrist is just fucking like shaking, just like putting the thing up to your nose, just.
The reason he says hot is because he's so fucking juiced up on fucking speed he can barely get any other words out, so he's like, just say hot to get it out. Like,
yeah, man, he only says hot and cold and just works like binary. So hot is 1 and cold is 0. It's like hot, hot.
Do you need your break? Hot.
That guy who said hot though, he was mad. Like,
why was he mad?
Like, he grew up in South Africa, and like he was like in the cadets or something, like, you know, so he was in the military, and I think it was like around when apartheid like ended or something, and like, you know, like like for some reason he was saying like, oh yeah, like there's one time I was on this like flamethrower tank, like, and I was doing target practice on it, and it was like literally just an extermination weapon. There's no need for that, like, at all, like, you know what I mean? Just like fucking, he's actually fucking mental. But like, yeah, just, yeah, if you grow up like, you know, there, like, you know what I mean, fucking, like, it's, you're definitely gonna see things differently, like, you know what I mean, compared to, like, you know, if you grew up in Ireland or something, like, you know what I mean. But I think he was just like, yeah, fucking, that's just like, I don't know why my parents sent me there, like, you know what I mean.
Was he in the cadets or the fucking Fire Nation? Flamethrower tanks. What the fuck?
Just like pledging allegiance to the Fire Lord, like,
Man,
before
just reminding me of something like World War II. Like, no, what's that fucking Call of Duty World at War missions with the fucking flamethrower? Like, you know, just playing video games in real life, man.
Lads, Call of Duty World at War is the most underrated Call of Duty.
I
Like,
would not call it underrated in the
Yeah,
slightest.
yeah,
Zone. It was quite hyped at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it was, because everyone was like, oh yeah, Infinity Ward with COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2, like, oh, like Infinity Ward are the shit, like Treyarch are shit, basically. And I don't know, fucking World at War is pretty cool. Like, I don't think there's many games that have, like, say, the campaign in, like, those places, like, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
I
man.
just remember getting it and playing the first mission, and like we were sitting in the sitting room, and my mom and dad were behind me watching it, and they're like, just watching. They're like, when did that game come out? Like 2009 or something? 2010?
2008.
Yeah.
Like,
2008. Like their 8-year-old son, I was like, oh yeah, this is the first mission. Yeah, this fella just got a cigarette shoved in his eye, and then his throat slit with a katana. Oh yeah, my God, yeah, this is actually good for me.
Man, that happened. The exact same thing happened to me. I think, like, I don't know if it was my parents or like some like, you know, some of my parents' friends or like my aunties, uncles, or whatever. But like, we're playing World at War, and the next thing it was just like, fucking, just like, you know, cigarette in the eye. The guy gets his throat slit or whatever. And next thing, like, me being a genius, I'm like, oh no, it's like, it's only the start, as in, like, this is only the beginning. And next thing, like, I was just like, I don't know about that now, like, you know what I
Next
mean?
thing, a soldier literally gets killed by another Japanese soldier on fire.
Yeah, just no. Man, that game is,
No, this is what I was on about.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's just like, oh no, like, you know, it gets way less violent from now on, and next thing you just like Japanese like charging at you with a bayonet, and they pin you down. You have to stab them in the throat. It's like Peggy 3, like at the
Man, I remember when World at War came out. I used to have this PC that could actually run World at War, right? And we used to, back in, like, I don't know, 2008, whatever. We used to have a roommate in my house. My dad's like best friend called Richard, and he used to live in the room that I live in my house, just for your knowledge. So he used to live there. He had like a laptop. He used to play Quake on it. But I remember he came up to me and he was like, I got this game for you. Hope you enjoy it. Do you want to play it together, right? I think it was like Saturday, 2 in the afternoon, and I think it was like July or something like that. And I remember the sun was just blasting through my room upstairs. So we put the blinds down, like, to darken out the room. Installed Call of Duty World at War. For 3 hours straight, we were playing this shit. Like, you know, his chair next to my chair. And like, both of us were just taking rounds at different missions. And remember the first opening with the fucking cigarette. He was like, "Don't tell your dad about this." And I was like, I won't. And he's like, "Okay, let's play."
fucking hell. Just like my favorite Call of Duty.
Yeah, but Bartek, just imagine your dad coming up and seeing that, and like, he wouldn't be disappointed, like, what, you get no game, you didn't tell me? What the fuck?
And my dad was actually, I think, a big gamer when he was my age, because I think when he was my age, he used to play a lot of PlayStation 1 games. He used to play like Tomb Raider. He used to play the original Metal Gear Solid games, and he used to play Crash Bandicoot games. And then recently, for my birthday,
If he was a kid playing the PlayStation
I
1.
think. See, my dad had me when he was like 25 or something like that. Like, he was pretty young. Yeah, 25, 24. I think my mother was 23. Yeah, my dad's, I think, going on to 50 this year.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm 22, so like, pretty young.
Take back that comment.
No, it's grand. But I remember he used to have this PlayStation 1 with like pirated copies of video games. And one of the video games he had was Crash Bandicoot. And my earliest memories of him and my dad were playing Crash Bandicoot together and playing Spyro games. And recently was my birthday, and I got Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy on the Switch for my girlfriend. And I sent a picture of it to my dad. He was like, "You son of a bitch! I don't have time to play this game. I have it on the PlayStation 4, but I never gone about it." But I remember the first time because I got my sister, my mom and I got my sister and my dad the PlayStation 4. Mainly my sister because she didn't have a gaming console at the time. She was like 5 or 6. And I was like, I want her to have the experiences that I had in my childhood of playing these video games like Crash Bandicoot and stuff. Not like translating my childhood onto her, but being
enforcing your child.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this game is Resident Evil. You're gonna like this one.
No, but I wanted her to like have the same like kind of play experience, right? So we bought the PlayStation 4. And I remember my mom sent me a picture of my dad at probably 12 in the night playing fucking Spyro Reignited Trilogy. And my dad called me the next day and he was like, the Spyro game is still really good shit. The graphics are way better than the PlayStation 1. And I was like, alright, cool, Dad.
Jesus. Yeah, fucking. No,
Yeah.
that's mad, like, honestly. It's just fucking.
Did you have any experience of playing games with your parents or not so much?
Did you? I tried once or twice. I think. Like I was just like, yeah, like want to be cool, like you know what I mean. Just like yeah. But
What did you try? Warzones.
yeah. Some simple like Warzone.
Rotate, Dad.
Yeah,
What the fuck? Come on.
Fucking hell. No, HDR. Oh, here, look, give us money so I can get a loadout. Wait, what's a loadout? Yeah, oh, for fuck's sake. Here, look, get this gulag, man. Fucking hell. I would not like subject like you know my parents to zones. I think what was it? I think it might have been a Call of Duty. But what I found is people who aren't used to Call of Duty find the whole like moving the character and moving their camera really hard at the same time. Like it's just like kind of natural to like me and you, but like fucking like it is hard, like you know what I mean, if you're just not used to it, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is a bit weird, but
That's how fuck. Yeah, sorry, I just to interject, like I found the same thing with my dad. Like when we started playing shooter games together, first we started playing. He was still playing PlayStation 2 games at times with me. Like he used to buy shooter games and play them with me. And I think also Xbox 360 games. He played some of the Ghost Recon games with me. Like one time he just sat on the Ghost Recon game and completed it. But he was like, "Yeah, but like I can't really get the camera because I know in the PlayStation 1 games we had like an original Medal of Honor game, and the camera was fixed, you know."
Yeah.
So like he never had to move the camera. And then imagine like playing all these shooter games, not having to move the camera, and then all of a sudden another like joystick pops up that you have to navigate, like, you know?
Yeah, it's just like it's just a fucking new dimension of like control, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Well, what were you saying? You played some shooter games with your dad, and
no, like I think it was just like they were just tried it and they were just like like you know I think this is just like too complicated. Like they were like, oh, like how do I hold the controller, like you know what I mean? And I was probably impatient with them at the time when I think about it. But
shut up, Dad.
yeah. Just like you hold it like, oh, you're such an actual you know. Nah, it's just like no, but I think my dad was like, oh, like he speaking of like video games, I think he like he remembers like when Space Invaders like came like on the arcade, like you know.
That's
And
crazy.
that is fucking mad. And he was like, oh yeah, I think this is right, but he was like, oh yeah, this like one fella, like he used to be on like the like Space Invaders and he used to like love it, and he said like I gave it a try and I don't know, didn't see it, like I didn't see the appeal to it, like, but I get it, it's just Space Invaders. But I wonder, like, you know, if he was introduced to say like Warzone like at my age, like you know when he was my age, like you know what I mean, like how but he's a more music guy anyway. Like he
Well,
likes music.
It's a completely different landscape now because like especially I feel when they first came out, they were seen as like a waste of time. But now, sure,
You can make money off it,
like parents can't use that excuse of, oh, it's a waste of time because all their kids are going to say, but look at fucking Ninja making. He literally made with that Microsoft streaming thing. I think he got a $30 million contract for like 5 years.
Fuck.
And then like all the subscriptions, like every subscription he got, he would have earned minimum $2.50 off each one. And there was a month where he had 250,000 subscriptions, so that's 500 grand pre-tax, like in a month.
That's crazy. But like,
it's nearly footballer money, like.
Yeah,
it is
absolutely footballer money.
Jesus.
But I think a lot of more people are
from where it is now. The amount of money they're making off video games.
Yeah. I was gonna say that, like, I think also a lot of people nowadays are appreciating video games as not singularly like a waste of time, but also like as a form of entertainment. Like a lot of video games nowadays like span into, let's say, they're not based entirely on play, but more on experience and kind of interaction and engaging with a story in a more kind of like, I don't know, tangible way. Like, let's say, for example, there are games that are coming out like Last of Us, Detroit, Human, right? All these kind of narrative, all these narrative based games. And now a lot of times, like, you have these really like, I'm really interested in the game, so like a lot of times you have these new indie games that further like expand on like the boundaries of what people consider games to be or what games can be. Like, I was watching today this really sad game before the podcast. It's called That Dragon Cancer, and this indie game was made by the parents of this son that passed away due to cancer at the age of 5, and the whole game is about their experience of living with a child that had suffered with cancer. And it's honestly like a beautiful artistic it's art, like, you know, it's a great expression of their emotions. And, you know, like, games are not so, like, they have developed from Space Invaders to more realistic, more kind of, let's say, more complex systems have been introduced into games. And now I feel like games are becoming like more of like just a entirely different source of entertainment. A lot of people just, like, you know, spend their evening just playing video games, not like
Biotech, like that game, I don't know it, I never heard of it, but I say if you showed that to a psychologist, they go, oh yeah, that's therapy, not only for the parents who made the game, but the people who play it and empathize with it, or, you know, they fucking resonate with it. Like, I'm sure there's people in the same situation that play that game. That's like, literally, a video game can be anything now. It can be therapy, it can be an escape, it can be a pastime, it can just be a way to communicate with people, just keep in touch with people. Like, sure, me and Owen know Matt from England.
Yeah,
like,
Matt.
I didn't know Matt from England until he joined a game of Minecraft.
yeah, man. Yeah, me and Matt, fucking. I just never met him in real life, which like should change, to be honest. Definitely like should visit.
Need to make more memories this summer. Don't go that way. Change that.
Nah, but like I remember like Battlefield 3. Like, I was just like, you know, just playing on it, just like, just, you know, just fucking about.
Grinding.
And I was just like, put on the mic, like, you know, and just like see if anyone wants to talk or whatever. And next thing, it's just like flying a helicopter and just like sprayed down these two lads. And next thing, like, I hear one guy say, oh yeah, like, you know, nice flying. And I was like, all right, oh yeah, thanks, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, shit, like, you know, like, we should add each other's friends. Like, oh yeah. So like, we just played a load of Battlefield, like, and just like, still fucking just play games with him now. It's like, what was that back in 2013 or something, or even earlier, like 2012. But it's fucking it's gas, like, you know what I mean? Just like meeting people online, you know. But I wonder how common that is to find like online friends, like, you know, as an average, like just in the whole population. Like it probably depends on the country, to be honest. But
I think also it's more common than usual. Like recently, I had this experience of recently I had this experience of playing Counter-Strike online on my laptop, and a lot of Polish people play Counter-Strike, and I had this. I was on like this. It's basically this mode called Wingman, and it's 2 versus 2 people, and the whole objective of the game is to shoot. It's a first person. Yeah. Owen and I play it a lot, but
we actually become just like proper nerds when we play.
Rush left.
Just like if my girlfriend came in and saw me, she'd be just like, like, what are you actually doing with your life?
But it's really good fun. But for those, like, let's say this game mode, communication is quite key. So a lot of times you'll turn on your mic and speak to the other person about, like, oh, this person's on the right hand side of the map, just giving information, because the information is very vital to get an advantage in the game. And this one guy started talking in English to me, and then he was like, where are you from? And I was like, oh, I'm originally from Poland, but I've lived in Ireland for like whatever amount of years. And then he switched to speaking Polish to me, and then he was like, hey, do you want to play some more games together on Wingman? And I ended up playing a few games with him, like, you know. And it's more common than that you actually get like friends, or like you meet people through video games than before. I feel like, because before, when I was playing video games, I think like 2008, 2010, maybe I didn't have the confidence to maybe like open up my mic and talk to people. Just, hey, how are you?
Everyone was fucking your mother. Everyone was shitting on your face. Shut up! I fucked your mother last night.
Just like you'd like 9 and 10-year-old self, just like, I am not turning on.
I didn't turn on my mic, but I remember playing Modern Warfare 2. This poor fella, oh my god, like this fella and another older, he sounded older than the first fella's probably like 15, 16. The second fella's must be in his 20s, and he has a gang with him, like there's 3 or 4 of them. And the fella, the 15-year-old now, he's doing good in the game, like he's fucking he's killing them. He's like, yeah, you're trash, you dog. But like, they're like, shit, Tom, like, shut up, boy, you fucking, like, I can't do the trash talk. And he just was like, shut up, boy, you fucking piece of shit. Like, actually, you just cunt, like, I bet your mother fucking cries and she's walking the door, fucking piece of shit, boy. And oh my god, I cringed, because he goes, yeah, well, and the whole lobby, now there's about 20 people in the game, not me, obviously, I'm not brave enough, but about, I say 15 people turn on their mic, and you just see him leave the game. I was like, he turned off the Xbox and like crumbled into a ball.
Jesus Christ.
That's violent. That's very violent.
Man, that guy's speech therapy just went back like a year, like, you know what I mean? Fucking Jesus Christ. That's horrible. But it's horrible, man.
That is brutal. Anyway, how long have we been running the podcast for now?
Going up to the hour mark soon, I think.
All right. Well, we just ended here, seeing as though we kind of finished our topic. Hopefully for the next week, our fellow...
Shut up, guys! Guys, I'm trying to talk. Leave the party, you're trash.
Hopefully for next week, I actually feel very self-conscious now.
Well, you go to stutter by, are you?
I'll take it over now.
Hopefully next week Ollie's going to come on the podcast, and if you have any feedback for us, let us know. And as always, follow us on whatever podcasting site that you're listening us too, and like it if it's on YouTube, and maybe subscribe to the channel. But yeah, thank you so much, lads, for speaking today, and I'll see you hopefully next week. If not, it's always like 2-week breaks. We have. All right.
A constant reunion tour.
Yeah. Man, once the fucking pandemic kind of goes down a bit, we'll be selling tickets for live shows.
Oh my god, never. Just like, nah, fucking. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and we appreciate your support and actually taking your time to listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
And hope you get some enjoyment out of it, and hope you have a great day as well.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye bye.
Right.
Vaccinated.
Get vaccinated. Yeah.
Get vaccinated. All right. Okay. See you anyway.
Bye bye.